Fortnite, World of Tanks, Valorant, Rocket League, and Team Fortress 2 are just some of thousands of multiplayer games out there. And what's one thing that all multiplayer games have in common? Very, very bad players. Players that are so bad that you could probably spam your keyboard and make higher IQ moves by randomly clicking your mouse and not even knowing what you're doing than what these players end up doing in the battlefield. And Meetsy's got us covered when it comes to World of Dummies content. If you don't know Meetsy's channel, highly suggest to check him out. And yeah, he posts World of Dummies content probably like once or twice a week where he shows absolute monkey low IQ moves being made and then tells people why they're bad and why you shouldn't be doing this, but most people should already understand that. When it comes to Blitz, it is a very special breeding habitat for very low IQ moves, and that's why, in today's video, I just had to show this replay. This was possibly the worst move I have ever seen on Fort Despair by a Super Heavy ever. I don't think ever in my 70+ thousand battles I've seen a player make a move worse than this on Fort Despair in a Super Heavy. Let me know if you guys have seen something worse than this. But the whole gist of why this was such a bad move is because we all have disagreements on where positions should be placed on maps. Rockfield, there are certain people that'll push on the heavy side, and Middleburg, there'll be people that should argue, go town because there's two bases there and you can hold, and that's definitely viable for comp, but a lot of better players like to go up the hill because it's more situational. That's the same for New Bay. There's arguments, and there's sides to both of those arguments. However, when it comes to a Super Heavy on Fort Despair, it is 100% that you never go to, I think it's base A, which is medium side, because it's fairly expected. It's like saying I'm going to climb up Castilla Hill with my E100. That is about the relevance of saying I'm going to push A side on this map with an E100, because why would you do that? Well, ladies and gentlemen, our E100, I'm not going to pronounce his name because I'll probably mess it up, but our E100 is going to do just that. Now, the weird thing about this E100, with a little bit of backstory, is after I saw him do this, I looked at his stats, and he's actually not a bad player. He's got over 50% win rate in Tier 10. Not only Tier 10 overall, but his 30-day as well has over 50%. And he averages, I think, over 2,000 damage every game. So I did not understand why a player that averages 50%, which isn't bad by any means, decided to make the worst move I've ever seen, like ever, in Blitz. So right now, I'm in my VK90. You can see that basically everybody on the team, apart from my 62A, has gone towards Seaside. And I was expecting, okay, well, I've got support here, so I'm going to do my job. Now, I do die quickly, and it definitely was my fault. I should not have pushed super aggressive, but it gives me time to talk about what else is going on in the battlefield. So right now, we've got the Leopard off to the side, we got the AMX 5120, and this is where things get a little bit interesting. You see, if we fly all the way across, all the way to the other side of the map, you know, where nobody on the team you would expect is, I don't even know what to say. There is no words to explain the amount of confusion that is going through my mind when watching this replay. Because when I was playing this battle, I didn't realize that, first of all, we even had an E100, but even more than that, I didn't realize that our team wasn't over here. Apart from like our one tank destroyer at B, I really thought that almost all of the team was towards the side of the map. Now you can see I definitely over-aggressed here. I was kind of hoping that I was going to be able to hold this spot because it can be a really good position, but unfortunately it didn't work out amazingly for me. I mean, I'm up to 1,800 damage, which isn't terrible, and I've been able to hold the enemy for a pretty decent chunk of time. I mean, I've blocked 1,700. We're going to get a shell into the Leopard. I was hoping he was going to poke so I could get an HE out, but that's fine. We deal 2,300 damage, and the Yag finishes me off for 200, so it's not the end of the world. But now we come to the cinematic view. The E100, who has finally made his way into base A. I don't know what to say. If the E100 had simply just gone to Seaside, this would have been the easiest steamroll for our team. We would have had everybody over there, and all the tanks that pushed on me wouldn't have been able to push on me because we would have had a 2,915 health E100 supporting me. I don't understand what the thinking was here. Like, why would you ever, first of all, leave the team in a tank that is extremely team dependent? You know, it's not like the E100's a medium or a light tank that can get away from trouble. You're in a tank that is so slow, so large, and so bad on camo that if you get spotted, you're gonna die. Now, Flossie is absolutely carrying over here. The Yag bounced him. You can see the bounces on his frontal armor. He has like 4 bounces. The Yag bounced him twice. The Leopard bounced him 2 times. And because of that, Flossie was actually able to clear the Yag and the Leopard single-handedly, which was pretty damn impressive. We actually won the battle because he was able to clear those tanks. But right now, it is a 4 versus 3. And even with the E100 not in the front line, there you go. Now it's a 4 versus 2. So we got a pretty good advantage here. But let's hope that the team doesn't throw this. So we got the M103 and the 62A off to the side. All right, so this shouldn't be too bad, right? We just got to clear the AMX M4. M103's over here. We're up on base cap, so not too bad. But unfortunately, our 62A pokes and our M103, yeah, I'm just going to say our M103 unfortunately bounces the shell on the AMX M4. But E100 snaps a shell in the rear of the AMX. I'm surprised that hit, to be honest, but he did clear the enemy AMX M4, the second connecting shell, or maybe the third shell he's connected this game. And, well, you'll notice we're up to 890 on the base capture. This was all the E100 did the entire battle. He shot, I think, the M60 once. That pushed, interestingly as well, to A side. Maybe that's the new thing for heavies. Maybe ditching your team and going to the other side of the map is the way to go. But, yeah, I don't know what to say. If somebody give me an explanation to why you would ever go to this side of the map. But we won on base capture, so at least we were able to get a win. Even if our M103 did die, we still probably would have won this because we had a full health E100 who would have just bumbled around the entire battlefield. So we did okay. We blocked 1700 and we were able to deal 2300 damage. Nothing crazy, earned a decent chunk of credits. But there is the E100. You can see he did okay. I mean, yeah, there's really not much else to say. The E100, though, as I said, is not a bad player. He's 52%. He has 95,000 games. And here's the part that really wowed me. 95,000 games. 80 of those 95,000 battles are played in an E100. This player has more games in a single Tier 10 heavy than my entire battle record. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. If you enjoy playing the E100, then that's great for you. I mean, he's dealt 160 million damage. That is insane in one single vehicle. And you can see he's not bad. He averages over 2,000 damage. So this is what weirded me is why did this player decide to go to that side of the map and do that? Did he sell his account? I have no clue. Yeah, it just weirded me. I really wanted to make a video on this because it was just the weirdest thing I've ever seen when it comes to Blitz. I've never, ever seen a player push their tank all the way to medium side in a super heavy, ignoring their entire team while being okay at the game. It's baffling. Maybe that was the idea. Maybe the guy was trying to troll because he didn't like me. I have no clue. Somebody give me an explanation in the comments down below what you guys think. But, yeah, I looked at this guy's 30 days. I said he's 50%. The only tank he's played in his 30-day, 60-day, and 90-day is the 100. So he must love that vehicle. I would suggest for him to get his hands on the VK72 after they buffed it with tungsten shells. But, yeah, I'm not even mad at the guy because we won the battle, and I mean, it was just weird. I was just watching it, and I was like, huh? Why? Why are you doing this? Either way, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you'd like to see more like this in the future, I'd suggest to honestly check out Meatsy's channel, because I normally don't do content like this. This is just one of those things that stood out to me, and I had to make a video on it. So if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, subscribe to me. But other than that, I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.